Hi, we'd like to introduce our new segment, Sales Makeover with Alice Hyman. Sales strategist, speaker, author, Alice is here to help us increase our sales. And welcome, Alice.
Well, thank you. This is going to be a lot of fun. I can't think of anything I like doing more than helping companies increase sales.
Awesome. Well, we're really excited to have you on Thrive Teacher Radio as our regular segment. And we're going to be solving some sales issues and challenges, questions for people on a weekly basis. So lucky you, you get to have Thrive Teachers, myself and Shaul, as your first client.
Oh, that's great.
You know, and we did. We volunteered to be the first on this experiment with Alice. She's so amazing. So what I wanted to talk about, Alice, is that Lisa and I have a workshop that we've created, and we want to know what's your best advice for really getting out there and selling the seats. You've got a limited amount of seats. What's your best strategy for getting out there and putting people in those seats?
Well, putting butts in seats, as we call it, is it's always hard work. And so the first thing that you need to know is it's not going to be as easy as we wish it would be. It does take work to get people to attend the workshop, but there are tons of ways that we can do that. Let me start by asking you a couple of questions. First, give me the basics of the workshop, day, time, place, how many hours it is. Just quickly give me that information.
Okay, it is on Friday, November 4th from 12 p.m. to 1:30 p.m. It's an hour and a half, and it's $47. It is right in the center of Reno at the Gudenby Learning Center, and it's called Conceptualize, Develop, and Grow Your Healing Arts Business.
And what day of the week does that happen to be?
It's a Friday.
Okay, great. It's a Friday. All right, so there's your basics, and we need to get that message out. So the next question I have for you is, who is your target audience? If you could fill that up with your ideal customer, describe to me who they would be.
They are new or established entrepreneurs that are in any type of a healing arts business, or they're a heart-centered entrepreneur. They're a one-person show or a two-person show, very small, and they're very passionate about what they're doing, but they haven't really built all the foundation yet and don't have all their strategies in place.
Okay, so they're solopreneurs. Or entrepreneurs that are just started up or who maybe are trying to grow. I imagine they'd come from the northern Nevada area. Are you trying to pull from any further? No? Okay, so just there. And then can you describe some of the types of business, what would be the names of the types of business owners that would come, like a massage therapist? I mean, give me some of those kinds of things.
Right, a yoga person, a chiropractor, someone that does Reiki, even a cake decorator, somebody who's just very passionate about what they do. They have a particular gift, especially if their talent or gift or product or service helps other people, really helps people.
Great. Would these be mostly women, do you suspect?
It would be a higher percentage of women, but there still would be men.
Okay. So it's not that you're including or excluding any particular group. It's just that if I think about the types of things you've mentioned, there tend to be more women in those fields.
Right.
So we want to appeal to that. Okay. So tell me, what are the results? Let's say I sign up for this. What am I going to get? After this is over, what am I going to be able to go do differently? What am I going to get? How am I going to feel? Tell me about the results.
The results are that you're going to have you're going to understand a three-part process where you're actually going to get a worksheet, so you're going to leave there knowing what's your next step. Where are you at in your business? Are you and not so much that where you're at, but where are you at in these three areas, and which one is the most important for you to start your next action? Is
okay,
it
so I'll be
in the
clear when I
concept?
leave on what to do next.
On what to do next, yes.
And with what to do next about growing my business, what to do next about getting more revenue, what to do next about like what's,
And it's going to depend on the business. It's going to depend on
Okay.
that individual. Some of the people will leave knowing they've got an idea for something they can add to their business or something that they can start a business with. So that will be where they will focus their worksheet, where they will focus their attention on their next step, is in the concept area.
Okay.
Some people are going to be, you know what, I don't have a good system in place for my filing. So it's their foundational piece. That's what they're going to have to explore and find out really what is the most pressing right now. Because what they're going to leave with is the process that they can use for all of it, but they'll actually work on in the workshop one area. So they'll have the process that they can use for all the other stuff, but they'll also in the workshop work on one and know their next steps in one.
So I would be able to say to one of my entrepreneur friends, if you take this course, you're going to leave there with what you need to do next to increase your success. And you're going to leave there with a process to continue knowing what to do to be successful. Would that be correct?
Yes.
Did I capture
Yes.
that? Okay.
Yes.
So part of selling anything is capturing the essence of it. And instead of telling people what they're going to do at the workshop, we need to tell them what they're going to get as a result of the work they do at the workshop. So
Right.
we need to have that messaging really clear so that we can now broadcast that messaging. So knowing who our target audience is, it sounds like this is something they'd all like to be able to do. And now we have to find our target audience. So do you have lists of these type of practitioners that you name, massage therapists, maybe hair salon, or hair care, skin care type of people, and Reiki? Do you have these lists?
We have like the Healthy Beginnings magazine has a bunch of listings, and online we've done some searching, so we have access to the people we want to target. Yes.
Okay, great. So now you have a list, and hopefully you've made an Excel spreadsheet with their name, their company name, the type of company that they are, massage or Reiki or whatever, in case it's not reflected in their name for some reason, their street address, their phone number, their email address. You have all that?
That's what we would, because we use Google Docs so that we can create all these spreadsheets.
Mm-hmm.
And so the process we were going to do is as we were sending out, because we've also got postcards created, so we would, anybody that we sent it to would go into that spreadsheet.
Okay, so you're going to start filling out that spreadsheet and make sure you capture all of that information. So that's great. So
Right.
we need to keep our target list and keep adding to it. And it sounds like, Healthy Beginnings is a great way to get some of the names. And, of course, you can Google massage therapists in Reno and Sparks and get those.
Right.
So that's all really good. And you can get your list going. And then we have to start thinking about what's the best way to communicate with them. What's the best way to reach them? Now, everybody's really busy, so email tends to be a really tough way to reach people. However, it's still an important way. There's always mail, which, costs a little bit because you got to put a stamp on it, but it can be very effective. Of course, there's PR, public relations, which encompasses many things, but of course part of that is writing a great story to send to the media, the radio, the TV, the newspapers, the magazines in town to see if they'll pick up on your story. But then also, that encompasses some of the social media. And then, of course, there's social media. So one of the first things I would have you do is look at your list of people and sit down at the computer for an hour or two and connect with them on LinkedIn and Facebook. Now, you may, of course, already be connected with many of them on LinkedIn and Facebook, but if you're not, get connected with them. Just remember to send them a message and not just a blind connect. So if you are on Facebook, they have changed that feature. It used to be able, when you sent them a friend
request, you could put a message in, and you can't anymore.
No. So what you have to do is send the friend request and send the message, or send the message first, but send them simultaneously, and in the message say to them, hi, I'm Shawl, I'm with Thrive Radio, and we're putting on this great workshop, and I wanted to introduce myself to you and get to know you to see if this would be something you would be interested in. And that's the kind of message you want to send them through LinkedIn or through Facebook. And so that would be really important to just, first of all, get connected with all of those people. Then on both Facebook and on LinkedIn, put it up as an event. So you go to your page and you click, add a new event, and you fill in all the many details and have it posted there. And then where it says select those to invite, you can invite all of those people that you are now friends with that you feel would benefit from this program. But be sure when you do set up your invitations that you put the purpose of the workshop and the results they will get before you put the sign-up link, so that they can see that really clearly. And then, of course, always give them your phone number or email so that they have questions. You can go ahead and, they can email those or call you with those questions. Now, one great way to fill a workshop, which is most often overlooked, is the telephone. Now, I know that's very old-fashioned of me to tell people to pick up the telephone, but it's a pretty important thing because we can do the social media, the PR, the mail, the email. We don't know if they're going to read it or they're not going to read it. But if they've gotten an invitation by email or mail, they've seen something in the press, the local press, or heard something on the radio or the TV or whatever, and if they've seen it on social media, now it's in their head. Now when you give them a phone call, they're, oh, yeah, I saw that. I am really interested, but you know what, I can't go that day. Or I am really interested. I just been meaning to sign up, and I didn't. I mean, for example, with, we run this event for business owners, and we use our BizTalk Blender format for that. And when we send out our invitations, we send them out a couple of times by email, and then we send some on Constant Contact. And when we see people, of course, we mention it. But we don't really get the people signing up until we make the quick phone call. And it's such a quick and easy phone call because these people already know and like and trust you. You just scoot down your list really fast, call them up and say, hi, this is Alice. I want to make sure you got the invitation to the event. We'd love to have you there. Do you want to sign up, or have you signed up, or do you need the link again, or whatever, And a lot of times you're just leaving a voice message, but that voice message in your cheerful voice is enough to get them to click the link and sign up, or call you back and sign up. So I really want to encourage people who would like to fill an event to use the telephone. It does take time, but it is highly effective.
Awesome.
So, yeah,
and I had envisioned us calling people as we created our list. So that's awesome to hear you say that.
Now, when you do your email messages out to them, and when you start posting on social media, what you want to do is give them content. So you may want to tell them what you're going to tell them in the workshop in an article format. So you want to say, there's really 3 ways to create success in your business. Number 1, number 2, number 3. If you're interested in learning more about these, click here and sign up for our class. But you're telling them what you're going to tell them. You're telling them what to do, not how to do it. In the workshop, you'll tell them how, because you can't spend that much time writing. So, but if you send that through your email, that's a great way. And with the email, Constant Contact is a great tool, but there's nothing better than a personal message. So if you could use the mail merge feature in Outlook, and I don't know if you could do that in Gmail or not, but if you could use some sort of mail merge feature so that you write more of a personal type of email with a little story or vignette or article in it, and then the link, to the class, and it could say to Alice or, dear Alice or whatever. That would be even better because it's much more personal, and we get a much higher response on those than we do with constant contact. So it's just a suggestion there.
Right. And I have several ways of doing that.
Great. Excellent. And then PR. Now, do you have someone helping you with the PR?
No.
Well, big suggestion here. People often overlook this avenue. The PR is, of course, getting the word out to the public and promoting it. PR is, again, writing a press release to send out to media, not just the paper, but the radio stations, the TV stations, and all of that. But that's only one tiny part of PR, and that's the part that most people think of. But promoting your event can be things like sponsoring another event where your workshop will be your business name with this workshop will be the sponsor, and you get to hand things out. Like at eWomen, when you sponsor or have a table there and can sign people up right there or hand something out. There may be other ways and other places in town where you could sponsor for a very small amount of money and get the word out about your workshop as well. But also you might want to get interviewed on some radio or TV about why you're putting this on, why it's timely, why people would be interested. And so you need some help with that. And I'm going to recommend that you contact Allison Galden to help you with that. She is a PR person who coaches people on PR. She won't do it for you, but she'll teach you how to do it for yourself. And for small companies who can't afford a PR agent or an agency to do all the PR for them, I highly recommend finding someone who will teach you what you need to know about PR and actually coach you through that so that you learn how to do it yourself and become pretty darn good at it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so just let's kind of
Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to recap and regroup on what things I want you to do and then ask me any questions that you have about those. So definitely going to use social media. Build your list and connect with all those people on social media. Let them know who you are, send them a message, and then you can also post your events on social media and start to promote them. But try to promote them with a question like, what if you had everything you needed to be wildly successful? What would that look like? And then need more, click here, blah, 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 and that can lead it to your, to your sign up, something like that. So use social media. Use the phone, even if it's just leaving voicemail. If it's your cheerful voice, inviting them to this event and telling them how to sign up, that's great. Definitely use email, but the more personal, the better. If you have a postcard and you have a budget to print the postcard and to put some stamps on it, great. Send that out as well. And then definitely get some help with the PR so that you can let all of the media in town know what you're going to be doing and hopefully even get some of them to interview you about it. So what questions do you have for me on any of those things?
Oh my gosh, that was so in depth. Lisa, do you have anything? I took copious notes on that. I mean, that was amazing.
Yeah, I don't really. I mean, I think what you gave us is really great advice, and there's a system there for us to get the word out about this workshop, and I mean, it's great to have, it's kind of haphazard when you're thinking about it. It's like, oh my gosh, I got to do this, and then I got to do this, and I'm like, where do I start? So this has been great to get us on track. It seems that
I do have a question.
Oh, go ahead.
Alice, you talked about sponsoring other events so that, the workshop itself could sponsor the event or Thrive Teachers could sponsor the event. Do you have just off the top of your head some ideas of where to find events, what kind of events, how to go looking for them?
Well, again, they would need to be events that have your target audience. So I would ask around to the massage therapists and Reiki therapists that you know or the other women business owners or small business owners and ask them, what do they go to? So maybe it's the Professional Saleswomen of Nevada and you sponsor their next luncheon and provide something to them and get, 3 minutes on their schedule to talk about your workshop. Or maybe it's the NCET. there's maybe an event coming up that you could sponsor for them. That's the Nevada Center for Entrepreneurship and Technology. So look for other groups who host events that have a similar audience to you. Could be ABWA, things like that.
Wonderful.
There's two more pieces I just want to add before I know we're going to get to the end of our time. It goes so quickly. But I want you to think about timing. So you need at least 4 weeks to promote an event like this, and 6 weeks is even better because you can start sending out sort of hold the date notices, save the date kind of notices, things like that. But you also need time to build your list and connect with them on Facebook. So if you're 6 weeks out, you're building your list, you're connecting with everybody on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, whatever. Then you actually, about 4 weeks out, start your marketing plan. So you want your PR all ready to go before that 4-week period starts, because if it gets too close to the event, it's too late to notify people. The press likes to know about it a little bit in advance so that they can get you signed up to be on one of their shows if that's what they choose to do. So make yourself
so we are
a
4
marketing
weeks out.
calendar. Okay?
Yeah, we are 4 weeks out right now.
Perfect. So you will start with connecting with everybody on the social media channels, and you will start to you will definitely put your events up this week, and you will get your PR done right away.
And our mail piece, we'll send that out too.
Yeah, now you need to think about how you want to stagger these things. So week 1 you're going to email, week 2 you're going to mail, week 3 you're going to post on Facebook, or maybe you'll post on Facebook each week and also then email, mail, and call. So I would suggest you make a calendar for yourself and decide on what days you're going to do what of these things.
Okay.
And I think that will help you because it will guide you. And then every time you want to run an event, about 3 months prior to the event, do all your planning for the event, decide what, channels you're going to use to push the message out, get everything printed, written, ready to go, and then, get started about 6 weeks out with save the dates and that kind of thing. 4 weeks out, you need to start doing the message every week. And then right before the event, the majority of the people sign up within 48 hours of the event. And so some people really cancel their events a week out, which, no good because most people sign up 48 hours before. So you have to think about what you're going to do in the 48 hours right before your event to make sure that you get your class full. And that could include making a second round of phone calls 2 days before to say, we have 5 spaces left. We just want to make sure that you know of the event and if you wanted to sign up, that kind of thing. And then, on your social media and that you want to pump it up a little bit the 2 days before the event.
Awesome. Okay.
Okay, well, we are
wonderful.
at the end of our time on this. I mean, we don't want it to end.
We got a lot of value out of that, Alice. Thank you very, very much.
Yeah.
Well, and I hope that all the listeners out there, if you're listening and you have a sales challenge or you have something you want to try with sales, or if you're looking to hire a salesperson, call us. Tell us what you need, and we're going to help you figure out how to do that as it relates to sales. So I'm looking forward to helping everybody increase their sales.
Thank you so much.
Wonderful.
Alice.
And Alice will be with us every week at 10:30 in the morning Pacific time, solving a sales challenge or concern or something that you want to try. And you can see that it was a wonderful experience for Lisa and I. We got some great information, and so did our listeners. So when they want to do their events, so Allison, thank you very much for being here.
You're so welcome. It was fun.
Thanks, Allison. We'll talk to you next week.
All right.
All right. Goodbye.